We have to talk about the last fight because it was a very, very close split decision. I'm not saying this because we're chatting now, but when I first watched it, I thought it was a pretty clear decision for you. So obviously a lot of positives to take, but how do you reflect on your fight against Christine Rodriguez last time out?
I mean, I performed well. It's just I hadn't been in that situation with that high level of a striker.
Mm.
Um, and I just didn't have the experience of going through that. But yeah, I did beat him up for 2 rounds. There's no doubt about it. He was cut and bleeding all over the place, and he didn't hit me with anything that even got close to hurting me. So, uh, it's just good. And then in the third, he got the better hand. I've said this before in other interviews. It's hard to win every round in the UFC.
Mm.
Every round at that level of fighting. So, sure, I lost a round, but I didn't lose that fight. I think anyone that watched the fight thinks I won the fight, and the whole media scored it for me. So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that I won the fight. It's just I have to take the lessons from the loss, and that really doesn't define me or who I am as a fighter or anything. My heart knows I won. The world knows I won. So it's just about taking those experiences and those lessons that I learned in the fight and carrying them over to the rest of my career. Because I got into the UFC at 5-0. All first round finishes. So it's all about experience, and I get a lot of that in the gym, but there's some things that can't be replicated. And yeah, I felt that my last fight, and it was I mean, it sucked, but it was also a good feeling as well.
Almost a, dare I say, a victim of your own success, finishing these guys so early and so quickly that when a guy you maybe can't go out of there as easily as some of those other guys is still there, you've had an obviously
Yeah,
big
yeah. I mean,
congratulations.
for sure, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to get on to it, but
Mm.
yeah, I learned a lot, and I think um, just I showed what I'm capable of in the first couple rounds, So that's always good to look back on, and like people recognize that I am that good. So I just have to be able to do it for 3 rounds. So that's the only change I have to make.
We've just seen UFC 305, the controversy between the Jairzinho Rosenstrike and Taito Ivasa scorecard, where one of the judges scored 3 rounds to 0 or 30-27 for Taito Ivasa. There is a lingering issue in the sport with judging. I think most people would agree. Having been through that experience earlier on in the year, do you have any ways in which we could alter or change or improve the judging system that we currently have?
I mean, at some point we got to bring in guys that have been in fights and understand like um, the difference between the scoring for kickboxing and grappling and blah 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 blah. Because every single fight it seems different. We just saw that fight go that way, which there's no way to have also won
Hmm.
all 3 rounds. It's not even possible. And then another one was the Kulabau fight.
Hmm.
Seemed like they were scoring. I forget who he was fighting. I forget his name, but
Ricardo Ramos.
yeah, yeah, Ramos. When they were kind of scoring his takedowns like big, and he wasn't really doing a lot with them. But in my fight, for example, somehow I lose with 9 minutes and 40 seconds of control time in the first 2 rounds. Like I only didn't have control for like 10 seconds
Hmm.
or 20 seconds of the fight in the first 2 rounds. So it's just all over the place, and us as fighters, we don't really know exactly what they want or exactly how it's going to go. So yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is finish your fights, and that's what I try to do. That's what I've always done, and that's what I'll be doing September 7th.